fuck? This is the president of the fucking free nation, and we have to fucking hide like his fucking like healthy food and his bullshit. Like what the fuck? What are you gonna do next? Grind up fucking like Tylenol and pudding so you can fucking eat it, like or vitamins?
Hell yeah!
I think this is more than anything else the reason why we don't talk about politics in our show, because we're getting really upset about his fucking diet versus all the other things this terrible man does.
Well, he does stupid shit on a consistent basis, but he somehow manages to top himself every 5 fucking minutes. Like just when you think Trump can't get any dumber, he does something stupider. Like I have expected to say the only thing he drinks is Capri Sun.
Oh, by the way, I would.
I mean, that would be healthier than what he actually consumes.
But Diet Coke or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's a lot of things that's wrong with that motherfucker, but I don't think that's like one of the things I'm gonna bring up as far as like oh my god, this piece of shit with this fucking. Like I forgot what it was. That's how forgettable that shit was. And by the way, Capri Suns. If Mike President was drinking Capri Suns,
okay,
I agree with
the biggest issue with the fact that people have to hide healthy stuff in there is his complete disregard for any logic in just in how he eats and just in how he presents himself. That this is just showcasing that the people around him think he is such an incompetent child that they have to do extra shit around to hide. There was a report a while ago, a couple of months ago, where in order for like the Defense Department to keep his attention, they have to write his name randomly in their reports. So it'll be like, 75 missiles cost this much, Trump, and then they keep going, put his name randomly in there to keep his attention. Like this is just adding to this him being a senile child that is running the fucking country.
Marissa says, you guys always can go live during an off-camera conversation. I think that's always the best way to start things, by the way, because when it's really quiet, it just gets fucking awkward. And who the fuck broke all the glass right now? What the fuck was that doing?
Nick doesn't believe in pregame. He's just shoving that shit in raw and making you scream for
absolutely.
What?
Yeah, I hashtag donkey punch, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. What? What?
That's nice.
What does a donkey punch mean?
No.
I'll teach you.
No, I don't want to know.
I'll teach you.
Then I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna look it up and tell you.
Oh god!
Wait, Rox, you should know what this is just right off the bat. Like we're all adults here.
Well, look, I'm tired.
Okay, let me just explain. A donkey punch is when you fuck a girl, but without like you're not like getting nice and wet first. You're not like building up to this particular like pow. You just punch her with the shit. It's equivalent to when a donkey kicks you right in the fucking stomach. That's what they call a Donkey Kong. That's what they call. I was about to say. That's what they call a Donkey Kong.
That's what they call it. Donkey Kong 64, Alan.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
Donkey Kong. Dun, dun, dun. I forgot.
Don't you fucking try to get that rap started.
That's a good song, but
no, it isn't. That song is fucking terrible.
People,
yeah,
Donkey Kong dies.
What?
The DK Chunky's dead. That one?
Yeah.
No, that's the remake they made. Of like, where are they now?
No, but by the way, like this, and people in the chat, I mean, I know there's not a lot of guys over there right now, but when you guys get a chance, tell me what you thought of this. But this was, back in the day, a very awesome, not just for nostalgia, but this was a really good intro. The whole Donkey Kong 64 intro. This was
Donkey Kong rap is terrible.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you're not going to blast this in your fucking car. It's not the purpose.
God, you will.
I will.
Well, God, just fucking
He
stupid.
doesn't drive.
You're right.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, as an intro to a fucking thing, like, okay, by the way, do you like, let me ask you this. Would you listen to the Mario theme song when you want to? No, but it's a
No, but I would listen to a bunch of the shit from Legend of Zelda because I actually like it.
He's lying his ass off.
I am not lying my ass off.
I can see you turn up to that shit. Hush up.
Nah. Like, legit, I had on my phone, like, listen to music was a bunch of the random themes from one of my favorite games. It's like,
wait, you listen to the Hyrule theme song? The dun, 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 like
no, not specifically that one, but there were other ones from that game that I listened to.
With the Great Fairy theme song?
The one from Majora's Mask would be the Shadow Temple, because I fucking love that beat. The Song of Storms was fucking awesome. Like, those are just two off the top of my head.
I'm very aware that some video games have good songs, but most of the time those songs are songs that actually exist in the real world that they just kind of repurpose for the video game. Like, I like video game music that's just for video games, but not in a sense of, like, turning off the game and listening to this on my own. That's really surprising that you actually like shit like that. Like that.
Well,
I can agree with him a little bit. When it comes to Sims 2, I do like all their old classical songs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean,
Legend of Zelda always did a lot of interesting stuff. Their music was always like, you could tell, like, they were really good at instilling a mood whenever you listen to whatever the song was. Like, when you have the Hyrule theme, this theme for Majora's Mask, when you go onto the big field, it's supposed to be like uplifting, and they do it properly. The Shadow Temple theme is dark and morbid, so when you're listening to it, you can imagine what the temple looks like. And yeah, there's a lot of good music Legend of Zelda. So it's like that's why I fucking love it. But it's all instrumental. There's no fucking garbage ass rap. Like the beat is fine, but the rap is so fucking bad. I'm just like, oh my god, who fucking wrote this?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, it is rap. I'm not a person who likes non-rappers doing rap music because it always comes across as people trying to do something that they're not supposed to do. It's just fucking embarrassing. Like I mean, if people were doing this shit with rock music too, it'd be fucking terrible. Look at fucking Vanilla Ice and goddamn. Look at Limp Bizkit. Like every time they do something that's like not within.
Yeah,
the
every time they do something, it's terrible. You're right.
Well, no. Let's not get that far. See, in this situation, can reach you in the middle a little bit, but you gotta like completely insult my
I'm sorry,
shit.
buddy. I love you, man. If you want to play some Korn, go ahead, rock it out. You put some Limp Bizkit, man. I'm throwing that fucking phone out the window.
Korn and Bizkit are not very different. They're like just like Linkin Park and Papa
I would
Roach.
rather listen to any Korn song than any Limp Bizkit song.
Okay, dude. Honestly, I swear to God, one of these days, you know what? Tomorrow, I swear to God. What time do
You
you go to
showed
work
me
in the
like
morning?
4 Korn songs. I'm like, these are not bad. I would
But
listen to
Bizkit,
these.
I gotta show you the Bizkit though.
Oh, fuck that.
Sure.
I gotta show you this
Ugh.
Shut up,
biscuit,
God.
though.
I can do that.
Yo, I
Nope.
gotta show you this fucking breakfast
Nope.
sandwich real quick.
I'm gonna ignore that.
In the chat we hear Roger Bear is talking about everything from Halo 2, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Xenoblade Chronicles. I have not played Xenoblade Chronicles.
Weeb.
Wait, how so? You talk about Halo. Like that's
Yeah,
very
but he also
anti-weeb.
followed it with Kingdom Hearts and Xenoblade.
Yeah, I don't know. Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't know. Don't they have a thing on the Switch for that? Like,
There's
I don't know if it's a
the-
remake or.
I wish Jet was here at the moment because there's a lot of there's a huge entire
What makes you think I'm
sub-
not here?
She's always
Anyway,
here.
I'm glad she's not here. When it comes to anime music, that's an entirely different genre where they go crazy with their orchestras and all sorts of like 150 songs per game type shit. So it's like that's like you bring up Kingdom Hearts and fucking Xenoblade Chronicles. That's like an entirely fucking its own genre. Well, they'll just create entire albums just for there. Not like a lot of video games where it's like, oh, they'll get songs from other artists. Like, no, they straight up like we're gonna create music like 100 tracks for this one fucking game.
Which is great. I like that they do that, especially with the animes. Like Jet, I mean, you've shown me so many theme songs that are fucking amazing for anime. Like, what's one of the things that you would actually say you would listen to just without watching the intro? Like, you would actually put an anime song on or an intro just to listen to.
Just to listen to it?
Yeah, like just straight up just as music, not because you like the product or whatever. It's literally just the song's good.
That's a lot of anime titles.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Let's name one. What's one example of this being the case?
of one that show I don't like, but I like the opening.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get back to you on that.
Attack on Titan.
I like the first season of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that fucking opening theme is dope.
What's this? What's it called again?
Just put Attack on Titan season 1
Okay,
opening.
because I was typing "Attack the Titan." I was like, wait,
Attack the
that
Titan.
doesn't sound right.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm gonna
don't
put
worry.
Attack
There
the
was a
Block.
giant debacle within the anime community about the fucking subtitles where for some reason they couldn't use the word Titan, so they used Eotin or some stupid shit.
What the fuck is
Really?
that?
Okay.
I don't fucking know because apparently I think that means Titan in Japanese or some shit.
This sounds pretty crazy. It's just nice and orchestral, like like.
Oh, it's- Yeah,
just
it's
like
fucking awesome.
I'm sorry. Sometimes when I hear the vocals, I get a little turned off just a bit, and this is the case.
And that's why I skip all the anime intros.
Especially when I do like that weird little like compression thingy on their voice filters, like. It's like, oh.
But that can also be a garbage upload, so.
No, that they like the song sounds great, but the voice is fucked.
Although I will say I'm more attached to like the ending for the first season than the opening.
The Attack
The
on
same
Titan
show?
opening.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
I'm more attached to the ending for that first season than the opening.
Let me see. Ending 1. We'll check this out really
You're
quick.
not gonna like it because it's more peaceful. Not really peaceful. It's more slow.
You won't
I
like
like
it
it,
because it believes in peace and calm.
I like that
Angry
piano.
motherfucker.
I like that.
That was something me and you actually bonded over was your love of Moonlight Sonata from Resident Evil.
Yeah. Moonlight Sonata is fucking amazing. But yeah. Oh, Bleach. Thank you, Hollow Man. Dude, I fucking love the Bleach opening. I almost typed his name into YouTube. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Hollow Man opening.
Hollow Man
You look
190
at it. There's a
opening.
movie called Hollow Man.
Oh, that movie sucked.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, bullshit. Why the fuck did you like that movie?
Because you're wrong. This is great.
Did you even watch it?
Listen, we're talking about Bleach. It's great. I love Bleach. It's really good. Cleans your floors very well. I will say when I first saw like this image right here, I was like, this show's gonna be fucking stupid. And the songs are kind of all over the place. But hearing the music, hearing the bass, hearing all the instruments that's used for this, and then just kind of getting into the character as much as I did, Bleach is the shit, and I keep hearing that it gets really terrible, like the writing gets bad and it gets really corny.
I heard the same
yeah,
thing.
that's why I'm not really a big fan of Bleach, especially the later season, because it's like this is way too fucking convoluted, stupid. Good songs though. Most shonen animes have absolutely amazing openings and endings, but goddamn, that their shit gets stupid later.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite will always kind of be the Naruto openings or ending.
The Naruto
Oh yeah, Naruto has a bunch of good ones, like opening 6 in Shippuden,
Let me see.
or opening 16.
That sounds okay. I like that's in English.
Yeah, the only part of it is.
Yeah.
Okay. God, that's kind of depressing though.
No, it's Naruto. They make sure to make it as sad as possible. People dying left and right and shit like that.
Oh shit.
Not a lot of people die in the anime for some reason.
No, people die in the anime all the time. Who?
Yeah.
What do you mean who?
And Naruto?
Yeah, Naruto.
Yeah, people die quite a bit.
Yeah, like fucking Jiraiya fucking gets hardcore murdered.
Chad, I'm gonna ask you guys too. What's an anime show that you guys watch, or even like an animated show that you feel like is very long but still worth the entire journey? Because the only show that I think is worth all that binge watching is Hunter x Hunter so far. I haven't felt very compelled to like watch a shit ton of other shows, especially because like these numbers of episodes is very intimidating to me.
They can be. I want to jump on One Piece. I know it's like 1,500
Good luck.
episodes. I know it's like 1,500 episodes because I watched through. I think like 80 episodes left of Naruto just because the fucking filler arc for the Infinite Tsuku, whatever the fuck happened. I'm like, I'm just not even gonna bother watching. I'm gonna wait till they finish. But I watched like 600 episodes of Naruto before I had to just wait for more episodes. But 1,500, I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. But if it's good, I'll watch it.
Yeah. By the way, Ruth is actually taking notes on the debate right now. If you guys have any interesting things you want to add on about the debate, the political debate, you guys can write in
Bernie
the chat.
Sanders 2020. Why the fuck we still fucking around?
Madman Mars, yeah, One Piece is still running to this day. That's really surprising, as well as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh yeah, it's like One Piece is gonna be running for the next probably 10 years, according to the author.
Yeah, but is it because of the manga went that far, or is it because they just have?
Oh yeah, like I'm not even sure if they're on fill right now, but like the creator, the dude who does the manga, is still going on. He literally said it's not stopping anytime soon.
Is that bad?
And they just had a movie that came out a while ago, so.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I think that's cool that they're doing that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to have an oversaturation of anime either. Like, obviously, it's gotten popular in the last, like, 5 years. It's been popular for a long time past that, but, like, especially American, nerdism has gotten really big. But another thing, too, is, like, these movies. I mean, last year, the big thing was Dragon Ball Super, or whatever it's called, Super Broly, whatever
Oh, don't get me started on the Dragon Ball Z fucking movies.
Yeah, but, like, now, it's coming out tomorrow, actually, the My Hero Academia movie. And I'm just kind of
the Hero Rising or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
Heroes Rising. Yeah, coming out February 26th. Yeah, so that is tomorrow. But like, that whole fucking thing. I'm like, this is cool and everything, but have this. I mean, we're only at like season 4, I believe, of My Hero Academia. Why are we already like playing out movies? Like, you think this is like the second movie so far?
I'm old school. I feel like movies should be the end of your season, your series.
Yeah, or at least
that version of the series.
I got burned on anime movies because I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z. That was the first anime I ever watched, and until like 4 years ago, or when Super was coming out, every Dragon Ball movie was non-canon. They would do stupid shit like they would randomly vaporize the Earth for some fucking reason. Piccolo would have superpowers that he had on Namek, but he has them on Earth before the Namek saga. It was just a bunch of random stupid bullshit, including the Broly thing, which was all supposed to be non-canon. Then all of a sudden, Akira Toriyama said, fuck it, I'm going to make like a bunch of them canon in a row, to which I said, go eat a dick. You can't go 20 years of making non-canon fucking movies and then expect me to suddenly believe they're all canon. Fuck you, I'll watch the anime.
Yeah, Gary Sands going to run as long as Dragon Ball Z. That's all anime movies. Yeah, and I can see that being the case too. But that's my issue with it. Is I feel like even dude, I disagree with like them doing movie adapted like video or movies that are adapted from books or video games or whatever too. Like that can be an issue as well. But at least the franchise is nearly to completion when they do shit like that. Like when the Resident Evil movie came out, how many games was there? Like I think like 5?
A lot, actually. I don't think 6 came out by that point. The first one, probably around I think either Resident Evil 4 or 5 just came out.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 came out like in 2003, 2004, something like that. So it came out like right before Leon went to his whole thing. So it's like there's plenty of story there to make this movie and not have to worry about like if it connects with the canon that you already provided.
Oh, dude, they didn't give a fuck after the first one. Like the first one tries its best, but then they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna just maybe we'll take the characters and some aesthetics and the idea." And just say, fuck it, we're doing whatever the hell we want.
But that's the thing that I think hurts the anime series, where it's like, okay, My Hero Academia, we're on season 4 right now. There is people who have not gotten that far. I'm still in season 2 myself, and I love the fucking show. So it's like, do these movies, I mean, if you saw the movie, does it fuck up the seasons now? Does it spoil everything? Does it work canonically with everything? You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's why I started yelling earlier, because one of the things that would happen, and this happened with Naruto too, is they're often not canon. They're often just filler. I think one of the first ones was just a prequel, so it was a prequel to one of the characters. I think it was All Might. That was the very first movie. So yeah, you could basically kind of watch that whenever you want. It wouldn't spoil. I don't know what the next one's. I don't know what the one that's just coming out is going to be about. But a lot of the anime stuff, it's like if you're in the anime community, you already know what you need to know. It's like you with wrestling. You already know what to watch, when to watch it. It's like me with video games. I already know what to play, when to play it. People in anime already know when they're gonna watch it, when they need to watch it. And the people that are just catching up to they know what to do. I'm sure DJ Miles already knows when and how he's gonna watch this movie. So it ends up not really ever fucking it up, except if you're very, very casual like me, where I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till somebody tells me when to watch it.
Bad Boy is saying he loves anime but can't sit to anything that once it goes over 10 seasons, which I definitely agree with that. Even on regular shows, live action stuff, Walking Dead is basically the only thing I have the patience to do that
it's
for.
It's easier to stick with that shit if basically you started it when it basically started up. Then it's a lot easier, but trying to go into it when it has when it's in its 7th season or some shit, just
yeah, it's fucking daunting. And
then, one thing I like to do is I like to sit down and actually watch something after it has become had either a show run or it's getting near a series finale, with Harley Quinn. Me and Roxy recently sat down and watched it, and right now all the episodes are out on different platforms. So you get a chance to check it out. It's actually a really good show, and I like binging better than just having to wait for the next episode coming on. Like the next one I want to hit is going to be the Mandalorian series. Just because I know I can hit it all done in one day or two, and I really don't have to worry about constantly what's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next week?
That's actually a really interesting thing.
By the way, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy is just Jet and Roxy, by the way.
Yeah, I can imagine that being the case. But I don't know who would be Harley, because I don't think either one of them is that
Oh, no, Jet is Harley Quinn.
Nah, Jet's Poison Ivy.
Wiz Pickleton, thank you for attacking the chat and following us, by the way. I really appreciate that. But, yeah, Mandalorian. I'm surprised you didn't get onto that when it was the biggest topic of what's going on.
Look, I'm still down with the memes. Give me chicken nuggets and chocolate milk all day.
I'm good.
Jesus fucking Christ, yeah. I'm getting sick of that shit too. Baby Yoda's not that fucking cute, y'all.
Yeah. Baby Yoda's cute as fuck. All right.
Yeah, but no, Mandalorian is one of those things where I think a lot of people. It's the same thing with Witcher too. It was really easy to get into those because,
Which is a fucking amazing show. Really I'm so happy that how good it was. As somebody that because there's people that read the books that are they changed a lot of stuff. But people that played the fucking video games are like, yo, this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, no, this was fucking amazing. The way it's shot too, it looks so cinematic. It looks like it could be a movie. Sometimes when I'm talking about it too, outside of our show. Yeah. I'll refer to hey man, I love Witcher. That's such a good movie. I mean, show. It's you can't even. It's hard to tell sometimes.
But it's funny because Ganja brought up something when it comes to binging and stuff like that. Because I think we were watching. I can't remember we were watching My Hero, watching another show, and it's Attack on Titan, and it's 20 minutes, and then as soon as it ends, you're like, I need to watch the next fucking episode. So I get to the point I'm with Ganja where it's if it's 20-minute episodes, I'll just wait 6 weeks and just binge it all in one sitting. I don't want the idea of having to wait 20 minutes just to fucking wait 2 weeks for another 20 minutes. So.
And it depends on the kind of show too, because you look at something like One Punch Man. That's a show that I think of where it's easy to binge because it's so kind of we're going to build up to the end of this episode, we're going to beat the fuck out of somebody, and then it's a whole new story this next episode. Yeah. As far as what I saw, I'm pretty sure the show has changed since...
Not only that, I'm starting to get older and getting tired of that trope of oh, guess what? Plot in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, I hate to... I said it before to I fucking brought it up, but The Walking Dead is that's something that they'll get you tired of pretty quickly, is that every single cliffhanger is just to get you to come back next week. And that's something I appreciate about Netflix and whatnot, where, I like the episodes being already out, so if I feel like the show has earned my attention, I will watch it again and again and again and get through the entire thing, so... Yeah, with Pickleton says try binging One Piece.
If I had the time, I used to maybe, but I can barely do it. I haven't even finished The Witcher. That makes me so mad. I'm 5 episodes into this 8-episode season, and I just don't have as much time as I used to. But one thing that I do like to do is is anime has the unlike a lot of shows has the ability just to straight end when it wants to. So like for instance, I can't remember how I got into Fullmetal Alchemist. I think somebody just straight up recommended it to me, and I watched the original run and then I watched Brotherhood immediately afterwards. So that's probably like 90 episodes, and that is still to this day my #1 favorite anime. Just because of how well the characters are written, how interesting the world is, how funny it can be, how dark it can be when it needs to be, how it's able to balance everything, how it's able to gallivant all across the world. It has interesting movies and garbage endings, but also a really good ending when you go into Brotherhood. Like, it's legit amazing.
Yeah, it's a shame what they did.
I was searching this entire time for a show that basically I didn't like, but I liked its opening.
And you couldn't find one?
I mean, I got one. That's basically Elven Lied.
Oh my god, you said something fucking good about that. Holy shit.
I've been saying I like the opening. You can't really show it though because it has titties.
Oh, yeah, and wow, as soon as I clicked on or looked it up, the thumbnail is the titties. Wow. This show really does love its titties.
What was it? Daily Life of Monster Girls. I did not like that show.
Is that just a place that people go to perv on monsters?
Pretty fucking much.
You said Daily
There
Life
are
of
old
Monster-
co-hosts just like busting nuts over that show.
No, that was Kaijo or Keijo, whatever the fuck.
Keijo, yeah.
But is this the one you're talking about, Jet?
Oh,
Yeah.
Monster Miss, whatever the fuck.
And the designs are cool, but yeah, like...
Oh yeah, I don't recommend going too far into this because you might get boobs as well.
There's no naked shit in that one.
Oh, okay, but yeah. But Hunter x Hunter, by the way, so I typed that in earlier because I wanted to like segue into that. But Hunter x Hunter is one of the most rewarding binge moments ever. This show's pacing is immaculate. Like, holy shit, how good this fucking show is. Jed used to bring this up to me all the time, and I fought her. I did not want to fucking watch this goddamn thing, especially because Gon looks a lot like Deku, and I'm sick of these little kids being so fucking overpowered and perfect like John Cena. Fucking annoying. But this show proved me wrong in so many fucking ways, man. I love this show, and here's the thing, though, in reverse of what I asked Jed about earlier, this show's opening is such garbage. Like, I hate the opening. And Jed, I don't know what you like about this opening. I don't know how you think this fits this fucking show. It's too happy.
Later it doesn't fit at all.
Yeah, because I mean, it makes you think this show is like a really nice, jolly old fucking like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what.
And basically, like, if you don't like that opening, you're not gonna like the two different versions of it. And that opening plays for 148 episodes. They did not change it. Well, except they play two different versions, but still the same song.
Yeah, it's really annoying, and yeah, what was it? It's deceptive, and it starts out like it's gonna be like a Yu-Gi-Oh type thing, or whatever the fuck, or some kind of happy-go-lucky type situation. And this show has balls that you were not expecting. So I fucking love this stuff, and I don't
even know get the part where like that actually really happens. Where it's like, oh my god, I did not see that shit coming.
Yeah, and I'm still nervous about what that is because I legitimately care about these characters. Like it's kind of crazy to think that because like the only other show that made me care about characters as much is Ippo, the boxing anime, and then
that's a great one too. I only got like maybe 10 episodes in, but I'm like, this is just Rocky as an anime.
Yeah, dude, like everything that I loved about Rocky is so accentuated, and at the same time, there's things that Ippo touches on that are real, by the way, that Rocky forgot to touch on because they're only allotted so much time to tell their stories. And Ippo is just like, oh, I fucking love that show. Right now I'm on season 20, and like a certain twist happened, and I'm just like, yikes. Not season 20, episode 20, my bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't go that far.
Episode 200,000.
Yeah. But, yeah, Ippo's another one, but Death Note's another show where I cared a shit ton about the characters.
I fucking hated Death Note.
How the fuck
it was
did
a
you
too edgy for you too?
Death Note has a great first episode. That first episode is fucking amazing. Right to every single thing that they're doing with the twist with L and how he's fucking with Kira and the entire idea of Death Note. That first episode is fucking amazing. And then it just becomes the most boring fucking thing in the world for like 10 episodes of watch Sherlock Holmes fight against Sherlock Holmes, but he's a bit weird because he sits perched and doesn't wear socks or whatever the fuck. But it just goes back and forth, and it's just like, I am so bored by this fucking. I'm gonna talk every single thing. I put this camera in this chip, and I'm doing this because of this, and this because of that, and then cuts L. Well, I have to do this instead of this to this to this. I'm like, oh my fucking god! If I had to hear one more person,
Yeah.
They over-explain everything in the most boring, mundane term, and then the fucking diva shows up, and I'm like, I fucking ran out of my room. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. She just shows up and goes, I want you to be my boyfriend, and I'll kill anyone you like. I'm like, what is this show becoming?
Yeah. There she is right there. Yeah.
Oh my god! And people tell me the ending sucks, and I was like, okay, so at this point, I hate the show. You're telling me it only gets worse, so why am I gonna bother?
Dude, that ending pissed me the fuck off. And I will say that it did piss me off in certain ways that it probably will never piss anybody else off. But around the time I watched this was around 2016, 2017, and no, it was 2017. And there was a certain wrestler that was doing something that I'm pretty sure they completely stole from Death Note, and it was that whole delete thing. And the main character does that, or the villain or whatever the fuck does that in this show, and it pissed me off because everybody was doing that, and anime was starting to get big, and everyone around. We used to do a show called the Anime Night where we would hang out with Toasties and
and we canceled the fuck out of it.
Yes, we did.
Killed the shit out of it.
He's really happy for putting a bullet in that.
I will, dude. That was the worst.
Yeah, so. It sucks that happened, but at the same time, I did enjoy watching some anime, but it's like, yeah, the ending of Death Note really pissed me off and put a really bad taste in my fucking mouth, and yeah, I never forgave for that.
Kind of Death Note, basically, they came out with a one-shot of it, basically where a new person gets the Death Note, and you know what happens?
What?
Nothing.
Trump gets killed.
What?
Okay,
wait.
That's
went there?
Sure.
Does that happen? Wait, I forgot about that shit.
No, like it wasn't made into a anime or nothing, but basically it's a one-shot on manga. But yeah, Trump gets the Death Note or whatever, and yeah, he ends up getting killed.
Well,
Wait, Trump gets the Death Note, or someone gets the Death Note and kills Trump?
No, Trump gets the Death Note, but certain rules are written into it, so he dies.
That's
shit.
Oh, they decided to add rules into it. That's great.
Well, here's the thing too.
I mean, look. I'll give you this to the anime fans that are getting their freaking kunais ready to fucking throw at me. I think the concept of the Death Note is amazing, and the rules are really incredible. I just think the show sucks.
Okay, which makes sense. But here's the thing: we're gonna get off into anime. I know we've been doing anime a lot today so far. Sorry about that, folks. But I'm gonna talk about something that I thought I was gonna just love just automatically. But we got 6 seconds of trailer, Alan. You ready for this ride?
Do we have a trailer? Is that a trailer or just a bunch of stills?
Watch this.
Yeah.
And Candyman.
Oh man. Okay, so here's my money. How do I buy a ticket?
Yeah. Man, I gotta tell you. So right away, I want to see Candyman, right? And I'm pretty hyped about this. But good God, there was only a few seconds in this trailer, and I'm already kind of like, And the reasoning why is because they thought that they were so cool that they were going to show some really boring ass footage. Like, dude, it doesn't get more fucking like generic as, ooh, I dropped some water on the floor. Oh my God, something must have shocked me where I fucking. And by the way, I can guarantee you it's out of context. There's not even a monster or no situation happening there. Yeah,
You
I don't
want
know.
context from this?
Well, yeah.
I mean, honestly, like we got to the point where teasers, it's like. We know teasers are only going to be under a minute, and we know they're not going to show the monster or the plot, but it's like, show something to anything? Like, you could have just honestly just had 30 seconds of just the fucking Candyman logo, and it basically is the same thing.
One other thing, too, is like, look, with horror movies, you cannot film like during the day. I really, really don't like when people do that because it kind of fucks up the illusion for me a little bit, unless it's like a reality-based kind of thing where there's not a villain. But Candyman will look scary in darker areas, or a shadow or a silhouette or whatever. We're seeing reaction shots, which I don't give a fuck about the reaction. Like, when it comes to like Freddy or Jason or whatever the fuck these characters, the thing that we want to see is these characters to die. We don't care about the reactions. We're not really that scared about the shit. Like, no one's gonna think this fucking trailer's scary when it actually comes out on Thursday. You know what I mean? So
who knows? I mean, maybe they're gonna actually try to do, make a horror movie scary. That might be something they're looking forward to.
Life is too fucking scary to make a horror movie scary. I'm not gonna be scared of a man with with bees all over him when I deal with the fact that
you're not
gonna
be afraid of a man that's covered in bees?
No,
the bees, Alan.
I'm scared of bees.
That's why I never watched the movie as a kid. I'm scared of bees.
Well, they're not gonna come.
I know bees aren't gonna be released into the fucking theater, but it's called suspension of disbelief when you're watching a movie.
If I could get a budget and I was willing to sacrifice our friendship for this, I would.
You're right. You would sacrifice that shit because I'm not being friends with you after that.
Oh, but that camera footage. That camera footage, you screaming like a bitch though.
But,
it also be kind of footage of me beating your ass to death.
No, he thinks that it's gonna be about Nick Cage. By the way, is Zella in the chat? Like I'm thinking about the idea of fucking oh god, the fucking bees, the bees. I love that scene from.
That's so fucking lame.
That movie is beautiful.
The movie is awful except for the last like 10 minutes of it.
Oh yes, bring the bee puns. Fuck yeah.
Oh fuck y'all! I'll leave.
Hey,
I'm
man,
at home right now.
I believe. Do you believe?
I'm at home right now. I can just walk away. I don't have to be the part of the show.
So just so you guys know, and I probably should reiterate this earlier, but since more of the audience is coming in right now, I want to let you guys know what Double Toes are doing tonight. They're actually talking about black horror movies and the new wave of black horror movies that are coming out, and that's cool. And I'm interested to see how Corey's going to touch on this. But I gotta bring up something that people might not like, and I got some questions for people in this particular chat because there is a few minorities in our chat call right now. And
really?
Yeah, a couple. Alan's not
one. Sure. Everyone's white. We're all white.
No, but like here's the thing. I'm not saying that I don't want to have like a new wave of Mexican or black or female horror. I like all that shit. It's cool. But I think sometimes we so want that so much that we're just making shit up in our head saying that things are representing of our culture in these movies. Like for instance, the girl who did Babadook, female director. When she did Nightingale and she did something else too, people were like, "Oh my God, female horror is back. She's doing this, she's doing that." I'm sorry, but nothing about the Babadook really hit me as far as like, "Oh, this is a real female horror." Like, there's really nothing there's nothing separated from most horror movies that she did. So in situations like that, I don't believe that. And I gotta look at what Jordan Peele's done. And I mean, did anyone feel that Us was representation of black horror at all? I mean, that's a movie that everybody can relate to. Us was
but
all right. So can I say one?
Go ahead.
The first Halloween, I don't think she's like a heroine empowerment. I think she's just a regular person that's trying to survive a fucked up situation with Michael Myers chasing her. She doesn't become that figure until the new movie, honestly.
Yeah.
H2O, actually. I was going to jump on that. That's really where it comes to female empowerment, because not only is that the first time she stood up to Michael Myers, that's really the first time anyone stood up to him at that point. But, I mean, how could you not say that Us is basically a black horror movie? It's primarily centered around a black cast. That's pretty much, isn't that what the... what account for that?
Well, like what I like to do is I compare it to Get Out, which for obvious reasons, you know, not to mention the black cast, but also Jordan Peele did both. But yeah, I feel like Get Out is a black horror movie because there's black problems in the movie. Like black people are gonna relate to this more than anybody else. So yeah, you guys got your black movie. That's awesome. But Us, I'm like, I mean, aside from them just being black, is there anything black about the movie? Like, it's just a horror movie. You know what I mean?
Okay, like, but then we jump into the situation of, like, what do you constitute as part of a race versus just stereotypes that we accentuate as part of a race? Because this is a very loaded question, because are you just saying that in order for something to be considered a part of a specific race, not just black or Asian or whatever the fuck, you have to have the stuff that's associated with the culture? You can't just have the cast and that's enough. It has to have some sort of recognizable feature of the race or the culture or whatever you're going for. Because
the reason why I say that is because I feel like there should be some kind of, and I'm going to ask Jet this first and then Roxy, because I feel like, you know, they should have more of an opinion on this stuff than the guy with the dick. But but the thing is like, I had to say, I think some people will make these movies and they'll say like, oh, go watch it because it's a female movie, and it's not. But you just took something that women should have or black people should have, and you're just fucking making money off of it when you're not doing shit for black people, you're not doing shit for females or Mexicans or anybody. You just fucking found a way to make a business move out of it, and now you're gonna get support from people who do not know.
Hey! I got money and support your local Latina hats. All right, you're fucking up my stock game.
You know
God, don't bring that up.
But like for instance,
don't bring up that pandering ass shit.
No, but like, okay, like legit though, I'm gonna ask you first, Rox, because I know you haven't talked a whole lot during this thing, but I know you love your horror movies, and I'm curious, like, do you feel represented as far as some of these horror movies go, and female horror movies and whatnot?
No. The thing that bugs me is, like, I kind of get what you're saying, Nick, but honestly, most of the time when people try to, like, talk about the diversity in movies, it's more from, like, a commercial/HR standpoint. Like, for example, like, when you look at a math book, you got the Mexican kid, you got the Indian kid, you got the black kid, you got the Asian kid. Diversity, right? Mm-hmm. No. That's just marketable HR shit. Like, people are gonna complain that there's no diversity. Why are all these little white kids on my math book? I want to see some black kids and Mexican kids and Latino kids and Asian kids and Arab kids and Indian kids. And at that point, that's not representation. That's just an HR power move just to make sure you got all your bases covered. But in terms of like actual diversity,
Just bring in somebody that's just black, have them do what they gotta do, bring someone that's Mexican, whatever, insert race here and let them do what they gotta do. You don't have to have the black guy walk around with like stereotypical black stuff and then like Mexicans and Arabs with like stereotypical stuff, you know? That's just taking it too far. That's like wearing a taco hat or a sombrero the whole entire movie just because you're Mexican. That shit's ridiculous.
Yeah, again, she's bringing up a point of, does a character have to be does a character of a different race have to just have their stereotypes for you to be considering them part of their race?
Well,
like, I'm going. What's up?
I'm sorry. No, I didn't know you were done. Or you were done. Go ahead.
You can mention stuff that's like in particular to their race, like in Get Out. I think they did a good job of that. Like, yeah, of course, like everyone can enjoy and watch the movie, but there are certain aspects of black culture that black people can associate with. Like typically in the movies, what do? Well, in horror movies is very guilty of this trope. Usually the first person to die is the black guy or black woman that's in the movie, and they always portray him as white. When in reality, you know they're the first ones in the audience screaming, "No, get the fuck out of there! We're not doing that shit. We'd run."
All right, so I know
and you see that in like Get Out, like with the TSA guy. He's like, "Oh hell no, that's some white people shit," and he left because that's real. That's what like we do. Like we're not gonna sit there and act a certain way, you know? Does that make sense?
Legit, to add to your point, babe. Like that's one of the things. I know you guys don't like haunted house, but.
Nobody does.
No, y'all don't. But hold on, this was one of the things that I laughed at. But the only reason they actually had to come back to the house was the motherfucker was broke and I couldn't afford having to lease it out again because they were in a shitty ass neighborhood. And he was gonna get like not even worth what it was the house was worth. Yeah, so he's like, "Fuck it, I'm staying."
But that's insulting too. Like that's almost
not necessarily, because that's actually like
that happens to everybody.
The point that is a situation in which because one of the things that bothers me, I love the movie Insidious. I love it to death. There's a part where it's a white family and they're dealing with the first house and they think it's haunted. This guy's a teacher, and I don't think the wife works. I think she's a stay-at-home mom. So this guy on a teacher's salary is able to like say, "Okay, fuck it, we'll move." He's able to move out of a really big house. I don't know how the fuck he does it. Move into a different house in probably less than a year. And I was always like, how are you affording this? Good thing this ghost is traveling with you because this seems expensive as fuck.
So before this chat thing moves up, because I want to get his comment first, and I'm going to ask Jess something. But Bari, sorry if I say your fucking name wrong because I'm stupid. He says a black movie is directed towards a black audience, and Us is a regular horror movie that does something different with the main characters. Black people can be main characters without being a huge event, which is a problem because we need black main characters to be common, which I appreciate Jordan Peele doing that with Us, and I do like that they're not making a huge event out of having black casts. But at the same time, I mean, that's cool. Like, I'm not complaining about that. But I think that some people, like BladeDiscussing.com or Collider, as where I got this particular trailer from, they'll do things, and I can tell it's a white writer, and it's like, hey guys, it's a black movie, yay, right? Go support it. And it's like, dude, no, you don't even know what the movie's about yet, and you're saying it's a black movie just because one black dude's working on it, and you know what I mean? Like, people are not understanding what representation means. Just because you put a color skin on it doesn't mean anything. Like, you know what I mean? Because you could be insulting to black people by having the same cast in there.
We gotta wear taco hats and sombreros now for the rest of our lives.
Okay, Nick, I think that you have a one point in which people don't understand what representation is, and don't take this the wrong way. I think you also don't understand what representation is because of what people think representation is. Having a person in a movie that is part of a race isn't representation. It's what Roxy was saying earlier of you're checking all your boxes. It is what a lot of the people complain, like the token character of you just have them there so that you can claim you're diverse. But having like people that are actually part of your movie that aren't just there to fill a fucking role. Like, it's something that I bring up on almost every single podcast I fucking bring up, and we'll throw it to the other people in here too. But like the apology Arab versus like that's you have two kinds of Arabs: the apology Arab and the terrorist Arab. That's quote unquote representation of you have it either what they see as the villains, or it's like no, they're normal people. But at the end of the day, they're not characters; they're just filler. They're just there to be like, okay, this movie has more than just white people in it. But every race at this point has been clamoring for just give us real characters. Have something like don't call it James Bond, but have something like James Bond, but why not have somebody else that's not white behind the fucking role?
Yeah, and to Mauricio's point, Blend Bled Out is one of those movies that I feel very connected with, and I think it really actually had a Mexican mindset kind of put into mine. By the way, I like when movies are done like that. But I'm just gonna ask you really quick because I put you to the ringer, making you watch so many horror movies with me. Has there been any that you felt represented well by at all, as far as a female or black person?
I mean, I'd be surprised if she said yes.
Well, I thought maybe a couple things, but yeah, go ahead though.
No, it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, no.
How about with Get Out? Do you feel like that at least got close?
Get Out was. I can't even really say Get Out because like that was a black man, not a black woman.
That's true. Yeah.
And even then, like, you still stay with the bitch, but until like the very, very end.
Yeah.
But no, the problem with a lot of horror movies when it comes to black people and stuff like that, and why they get killed first, is that they don't know how to write us. They just put us in there for basically a little bit of representation or quotations diversity, and then kill us off. So basically, they're just like, whoop, gave them what they wanted. Don't really know how to write them. Bye.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
It's just like nowadays we have situations like you look at Rambo: Last Blood, and me and Alan have talked about this fucking movie so many times.
Movie's garbage.
And I love the movie, but I remember people were really upset because, man, you guys did Mexicans wrong. You're just killing a bunch of Mexicans throughout the whole fucking movie. And I'm like, listen, man, like, if you're cool with a cast in a horror movie being all black, and obviously since it's a body count film, they all die, but yet that's okay. But when Mexicans get killed in an action movie where they're part of the cartel, like, there's a story behind Mexicans dying. We're not just a bunch of Mexicans like, oh no, Holmes, and they die. Like, they're selling drugs and shit.
I think that you gotta say is the people that complain about that stuff. Like I think it was one of those situations where nobody was really done one.
I'm sorry, Alan. He's stupid.
No, Stallone! No!
Hey, y'all, yeah, the fucking Chuckle Brothers are back.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
Back in
Fuck you. Fuck both of you.
We're back in the barrio.
Dude,
Go ahead.
They're gonna go on this for a while.
What's your point?
I don't know.
Don't be so distracted. We just
I forgot because you're two stupid motherfuckers are laughing.
Okay,
It's
go
just
back
dumb
to what
shit.
you were saying about the Mexicans and whatever before they start
Oh.
making jokes.
Is that at the end of the day, representation doesn't matter if you don't have somebody that can actually write them good. Like you're dealing with a situation in which, they're just the villains of the cannon fodder of a movie. It's an action movie. It's like John Wick. Like, well, how come the Russians that he blows in the fucking blows away doesn't get representation? But some people do, especially in the first one. You're dealing with the kid he's trying to kill. You're dealing with his father. You actually get a character there. Yeah, they're all a bunch of white Russians, and who gives a shit from one for the other? But you are getting some characterization. And people want that, especially when they see either heroes or villains. They want some sort of characterization. The cartel was a carbon copy cartel of, well, we're going to do human trafficking and drugs, and we got guns, and that's it. Like, there was no real character development with the villains. So that's why people are like, y'all just had a bunch of cannon fodder fucking Mexican murder for no fucking reason.
Yeah, which I can agree with that. But Ree's saying, and sorry, once again, if I say it wrong, make sure to tell me how to. But he's saying he thinks the problem lies with the history of horror films when presenting non-white characters are usually just stereotypical representation of the race. And yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And here's the biggest question about this too, and I'll start with Roxy on this one. Do you feel that Jordan Peele is attempting to do black representation with Candyman, or is he just making a Candyman remake or a sequel?
Damn, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah, because here's
I'm
the
just
thing.
trying to like tie it back to the original Candyman. With the original Candyman, it's a Chicago-based story, more specifically Cabrini Green. They do tie into like a lot of issues, like how Cabrini Green was supposed to be an affordable, low-income housing. It was supposed to be a good neighborhood. Everything started out good, till everything started falling apart, and then because it's a predominantly Black and Latino, I almost choked on a nut. Because it's black and
yeah,
but because
Walker,
I got
Walker.
like a chocolate
knew
bar
that
and
was-
had almonds in it, and I almost choked. But point being, because there are so many, the population of minorities is so high there, they ended up letting everything just like go to waste, and then gangs overtook everything. So I like seeing those aspects because they were true to the story. They actually did go to Cabrini Green and film everything there, so I appreciate that. Being honest, being upfront with like what's going on there. Not saying that like Candyman is like actually there. Maybe he is. I'm not gonna test it. I'm not gonna try it.
I ain't saying this fucking
But I
name much
appreciate
times.
like
good.
the realness and the. I really hate saying this word, but how I don't even like saying authentic no more because a lot of people abuse that. But it's just pure honesty. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping that that's what they're trying to do with the next one, staying with like the true Chicago story. And I don't know where exactly it's going because I've heard a lot of different theories about what this new Candyman's going to do. But I have hope. I don't think it's going to be like the main focus because a lot of people are mainly there just for like Tony Todd and seeing like what they do with him. But knowing Jordan Peele, he's probably going to bring like some insight into that or like tie tie both of those things in like really nicely.
Jay, I'm
If
gonna
that
ask you.
makes sense.
Yeah, and Jay, I'm gonna ask you, especially after you saw the first one a year ago or so. Do you feel like Jordan Peele is just gonna make a good Candyman sequel, or do you think he's gonna try to do some representation stuff with this and kind of go deeper? What do you expect of Candyman 2020?
That's really hard to say. I don't really think about Candyman that much because I really wasn't all that big of a fan of it. And with it being a sequel too, I'm not really sure what much you can do differently with it, like in terms of like origins and shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, because especially as it being a sequel, they're not gonna like reinvent the character or do something with the origins. I don't think. And if they do, it's gonna piss people off.
Like, when did the last Candyman come out? Like 20 years ago?
Yeah, but don't you feel like? Because think about this. Like, I know there was a bunch of Terminator movies, but obviously Dark Fate was like Terminator 3, and they try to do something different, and people are like, yeah, you killed the main character, and they just start getting fucking mad.
If this was like a remake or whatever, I could see him like doing like it completely differently, where it's a lot of diversity and stuff like that. Maybe taking the white woman out and shit like that. But if it's a sequel, I don't know.
Yeah.
They could probably do a lot more with a sequel than a reboot, because a reboot, people are like, well, you had to do this, you had to do that. With a sequel, you could basically just, something that I always like, it's like, acknowledge the first thing happened, and then just try to see what happens. Like, maybe, I don't know if they, like, you can get a new host or whatever the fuck, or even how any of these powers work. But yeah, just transmit it to a new host and see what it's like to be like, hey, this shit happened, and maybe somebody's ready. Like, I was a huge fan of the old character that's ready for this shit, because he saw this shit once before, and he's been prepping this shit his whole life. That's why I like the new Halloween, because she was ready for this shit.
And Jeepers Creepers 3, that's another one where he's like, I've seen this shit before. I've
seen this shit before, and I know what to do. Like, that's my favorite character in any movie. Of like, this person, you don't know who the fuck he is, but he's prepared.
Yeah. Yeah, and it becomes a movie where it's like you play action as far into the horror, but the fact that someone's so prepared makes it scarier because it's like, damn, what are you prepared for? Like
So you're rooting for somebody as opposed to just like, well, I hope the bad guy kills him in a cool way. Like, no, just fucking have a character you're rooting for to be like, well, maybe they won't make it, but maybe they'll stop the threat.
To what Ruthless said right now, this is actually perfect. He said that just because it's a sequel doesn't mean it isn't a soft reboot. And here's the thing with Candyman 3, they soft rebooted it there. We had a whole story about Tony Todd's character before he was Candyman, and then they switched it completely.
Didn't they do a whole bunch of soft reboots of most of like the Jason and Michael Myers shit, though?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I didn't like that at all.
I think the way it's going is like the way the new Halloween is going, where they're just going to get rid of like the 2 sequels that happened afterwards, and they're just going to focus on like the very first Candyman and kind of do like a continuation / soft reboot from there. Because if they're bringing back, what was the white lady's name? Helen. Because if they're bringing back Helen and Tony Todd, like there's going to be a little bit of a soft reboot in there.
I think that a soft reboot is better than like obviously I'll always want a sequel. But like we've seen soft reboots work way better than remakes, like a lot fucking better. Like look at Mad Max Fury Road. That's essentially a soft reboot of the franchise, and it worked out really well. We're looking at, again, you brought up Halloween. That worked out really fucking well. Where it's like it made like $100 million on a $10 million budget. Like that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and Atmosphere is something you need to go for too.
They didn't know those main 3 fucking slasher horror movie dudes, didn't they? They did in Freddy too. What they kept changing his backstory and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was straight up a remake. Like they straight up remade the first one.
In Freddy, because Freddy 3 they brought up how he was born and he had an abusive father, and then 5 they changed it again, and then 6 they changed it again.
Okay, but the thing is, like with the remake that they did, is straight up like the one with James Earl Jones. That is a straight up a remake. A soft reboot is very. This is a lot of weird technical terms that a lot of people just made up on the spot. But a soft reboot is essentially you're remaking aspects of the first one, but you're acknowledging the first one happened. Creed, for instance. Creed is a soft reboot. It's essentially Rocky 1, but it's told through a different character. But the Rocky series happened because Rocky's training him. Yeah. But it's going through the same kind of aspects of the character not knowing what he wants to do, him fighting his best, the entire movie being a training montage to the final fight, and to the fact that he loses the fight just like Rocky did. But he understands that him learning something is way better than winning the actual fight. So it's like
a spinoff is basically a soft reboot?
What's up?
A spinoff is basically a soft reboot?
It can be.
It can be if it's because if you think about if you think about the plot of what I just said, I just described Rocky 1. It's essentially a remake with a different character.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I see what you mean in that sense. But I think that sometimes we get so lost in whatever like these official categories are, that we kind of just end up creating our own reasons or excuses. Really, it's not reasons; they're excuses of just fucking up the lore. Because like with Terminator, it's like, okay, well, every movie, and I've always brought this up where I say in a good thing, but it's also a bad thing where it's like every movie is a sequel, a prequel, a reboot, and a remake. Every movie is that because of the time thing.
I'll go even harsher. Every Terminator movie contradicts the last Terminator movie.
Yeah, because it's a remake. So it's like it's almost okay to do it, but it's also annoying. When you fuck with time, and Jed's brought this up many times where she can't stand time travel movies, and I've been saying
this. I hate time travel.
Yeah, I at the point I hate time travel now too because they can't get the shit right. Back to the Future is the only thing that's actually done it and it made sense. You know what I mean? Like that's the only series that's done this right. I can't think of any other time travel things that actually did.
I can think
of fucking time travel, but it never fucking. Well, I haven't seen Back to the Future, so I can't really say anything about that. But it usually never fucking works.
I recommend to everybody that hates time travel to watch Steins Gate because that shit is awesome.
I'm scared.
Steins Gate is all about time travel.
Basically.
You know, is there like a certain movie that you guys want to like be brought maybe to like a modern representation or like a modern version of it, but you kind of don't want them to because you feel like they're gonna fuck with it too much?
Maximum Overdrive or The Mangler, one of those fucking movies. Come on, bring it on.
You know what's the one I really, really want to see, but I don't want them to mess with it too much?
What?
The People Under the Stairs. Because
oh my god,
so much, but they're gonna fuck it up if they make it new.
No, they could probably do that pretty well, especially if they put in the idea of certain technologies into the movie. That could be really fucking cool and really creative.
Just a movie that we want people to make again and not fuck with it too much?
Yeah,
or like what you're nervous about, because The People Under the Stairs is my shit. I fucking love and adore this movie, and I would be interested in seeing like a modern take on it. I want to see more of Fool. I want to see what's going on with him, what's going on with his family, and that kind of stuff. But you know, they might fuck with it because this thing's great.
No, it's
and I really don't want them to fuck with it too much.
It's such a good movie where the foundation of it's so good. Even if it's bad, it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Like,
I do. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jet.
Am I allowed to say basically like B movie like horrors or whatever?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
They don't like do these anymore from what I've seen, but like monster movies where there's actually a fucking monster in there, like Monster in the Closet.
Yeah, is Monster Closet actually a movie, by the way, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, because let me look this up really quick. I've never heard of this. Yeah, let me see this really quick. So
I want to see monsters like that, basically.
Like prosthetic, like animatronic. Oh, damn! Okay. Yeah, like, that was actually pretty fucking badass. But like, yeah.
No CG, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's silly, but at the same time, they do still make these sometimes. And one thing that this brings up to my head is Pumpkinhead. I would love to see Pumpkinhead remade. That'd be fucking amazing. Just a modernized version of that. And by the way, Jed, have you ever seen the movie Feast?
Feast?
Feast. Yeah.
All right, so Pumpkinhead, is that the one where it's literally a fucking pumpkin that has like vines and shit that kills people?
No, like he's just a big ass fucking dude just killing people.
No, I haven't seen that one.
It's a monster with a pumpkin head.
Yeah.
Well, I have one.
Like just a little kid who fell down the floor or something. Like I remember seeing the movie, but it's been a minute.
Basically, the kid got killed in some type of motorcycle accident, or whatever, and his dad tries to bring him back in like this pumpkin patch, and then he goes on a killing spree.
Yeah, he wants to get revenge on the
like
guys
a
who killed him.
xenomorph, from what I remember. But like, if you dipped a xenomorph into like some Popeye's hot oil.
Yeah.
All right, so now I know what you're talking about. I have seen that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually cool. And Chop and Shoot, hey there, man. So DT is going to be starting. They were supposed to start about 30 minutes ago, but Corey's prepping a lot of stuff for the whole black horror segment, the new wave of these horror movies, which that's actually what we're talking about right now. But yeah, I'll make sure to end this off when Corey begins. He might actually call me while I'm live on stream.
I have one that I want to remake. It's already being remade, but it's not a horror movie. It's basically a sci-fi action movie. Mm-hmm. I don't want Matrix 4 to exist. Like,
wait,
I love Keanu Reeves.
That's what you're trying to say this whole time is that you don't. That's the reverse of the question.
Yeah, I know, but no. We just said something that they're going to remake, but you know they're going to fuck it up. My thing's already happening, and they're going to fuck it up.
I don't think they're going to fuck it up.
I think they can fuck it up more worse than they have already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they can. They can fuck it up way worse. Like 3 is terrible. There's nothing good about 3. But the thing what made Matrix really, really interesting was the fact that the main character, like I'm talking about the first one, because the second one he becomes Jesus and God. But what made the first one really interesting is the main character never comes into his own until the last 5 minutes of the last like 20 minutes of the movie. It is basically just a situation in which he is being told he's awesome, but he never believes it. But I don't think anyone's gonna want to see a movie about that anymore, especially with it called The Matrix. They're gonna want the character to be like this, like super awesome, like charismatic guy who tells jokes the whole time.
They don't want John Wick with superpowers, honestly.
It'd be John Wick with superpowers, but it'd be a situation where they're like, well, we're gonna want a Thor, Captain America, where he's strong and he's making jokes the whole time because he's funny. They're basically just gonna get They're basically gonna do Matrix 4 is just gonna be what would happen if Will Smith was in the Matrix instead of Keanu Reeves. Yeah. And I think they're gonna fuck it up because they're not gonna get what makes Matrix 1 so fucking good. Is the fact that the main character isn't awesome until he needs to be and starts believing in it. Like he doesn't. He doesn't know, and he's just like, and that's like, you look at that, you're like, you're such a fucking loser, and he is, because even though he knows it, he doesn't believe it. Even after the lobby fight, he still doesn't believe he's awesome until he's like until the subway fight. That's when he finally believes that he can actually do this shit, that the Matrix is real. They're never gonna get that subtlety because they're gonna have him believe halfway through the fucking movie and just do crazy Jesus did. Basically, Matrix 4 is just gonna be Matrix 3, but with Will Smith.
So I don't know. I disagree with just the negativity on that because here's the thing. I don't even like the Matrix movies at this point because I try to watch that back and it's like that movie did not age well. It was super cool first time, but it's fucking bad objectively. But the thing is like now that they're making this movie now, like here's the thing. That movie was made then because it was a good idea and they just tried to do whatever they could, and I understand it and I give respect for them attempting. But now is the time where that movie should have been made, the first one. And if they're going to do like a soft reboot type thing, which I don't know if that's what they're going to be doing, but like we have the technology now today, we have a more larger idea of what technology can do and what things can be capable of happening. Matrix can work very, very well with today's fucking.
No, but they won't get the problem is they're not gonna be able to get, like, if Denis Villeneuve, the guy that does Dune and did Arrival and did all that stuff, somebody that can do sci-fi, the guy did new Blade Runner, somebody that could do sci-fi very subtly. If he was doing it, maybe the movie would be 5 hours, but it might actually pull it off. But that's what made the Matrix really interesting. The Matrix had groundbreaking special effects, like again with M. Hundem in the chat. That lobby fight is fucking amazing because the fucking directors and the cinematographer behind it said, "Fuck it, we're making this a practical effect," and it is nuts. I still don't know how they fucking actually did it, but they were able to keep it subtle, even though that they're going crazy with this world that no one's really ever tried or thought of. Let's do an entire let's do an entire world that's in a simulation. And just kind of see what crazy stuff we can do. The problem is right now, we've done so much stuff with CG and with all sorts of superhero stuff that all they're going to do is they're basically just going to try to do Terminator Dark Fate. Yeah. Like, it's going to be the same movie. And they're going to get away with what made it interesting and subtle is a main character that doesn't understand the world. They're not going to want to spend 2/3 of the movie trying to understand the Matrix. We've already had like 9 hours of the Matrix that people understand. It's going to be like the Star Wars prequels. We already have this established world, so let's just do the same shit from the other one and hope you like it this time.
I mean, I could see that being the case. I just want to be negative when it comes to these things. But yeah, I mean, you definitely make tons of fucking points there. It's just like, dude, at this point, when there's so much money going into certain things, Keanu Reeves is already so fucking insanely busy. He doesn't have room to start fucking up, especially when you look at like 2 years ago when Replicas came out. Like, he doesn't have a lot of room to keep making shitty movies like this, especially around tech-based stuff. So it's like, and then look at Gemini Man too. That movie did horrible. God. And it's like, yeah, when these guys are, these older guys trying to kind of bring in this new type of technology. And I mean, look, I don't know if you remember this, but like back in the day, in the last, like, I would say 15 years, every single time that technology would move this big milestone forward, it was always a Storm movie, like Into the Storm or the day after tomorrow, some Roland Emmerich type fucking movie. There's always that thing that pushes stuff forward. And I think what they're trying to do now is they're trying to do the exact same thing, but with smaller scale stuff. Like, for instance, I don't know if you knew this, but Gemini Man was like the first, like, I forgot how many frames I was working on, but like
144 or some crazy shit.
Yeah, some crazy amount of frames. And it's like, okay, yeah, the movie was probably bad, like, objectively, looking at the storyline and all that shit. But like, they were trying to push something forward. Matrix 4, I think they're going to use this to push technology forward a little bit. They're going to do something new. I don't know what that particular thing is.
They can, and they have the ability to, but my thing is that they're going to get away what made the first Matrix good, because the second Matrix I'm not going to sit there and say the second Matrix is anywhere near as good as the first one. It really isn't. I still like the movie because it basically was the writers and creators just kind of going fucking nuts And this is what happens when you give a fucking small budgeted movie all the fucking money it wants. They do the craziest shit in the world. But like, what made it interesting and subtle was the characters kind of living through and experiencing this. Like, there's so many characters in that movie that are just talking about basic shit about like, dude, there's a conversation about chicken. And I know that sounds ridiculous. The one guy goes, so what does that taste like? It tastes like chicken. How do you know that tastes like chicken? I mean, it tastes like that, yeah. But you've never had chicken before, ever. So how do you know that is? We program that shit. There's people alive right now that know what it's like, but in like 30 years, everyone that's ever tasted chicken is dead. And it's a conversation about how do we know how shit tastes. And it's like 5 minutes and it's awesome.
Okay, I guess, but I feel like you were loving the movie so much that it just made you start liking the little shit, because for me, that's something I'd be like, all right, movie, just move on. What
the
the
better
fuck?
question would have been, was it unseasoned chicken?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was a white guy, so you fucking fill in the blanks there.
Yeah, white guy programmed it. It's
But
like,
no, because the thing is, that entire movie, like even Morpheus, is going through, and he's like, well, what do you define as real? And Keanu Reeves goes, what you can touch and taste. And he goes, so electrical impulses are what's real? And it's like, that's fucking awesome. It's like, yeah, what is real? How do you know that the Matrix isn't real and where you're going is a dream? Because he was in a dream where it was the real world at the time. And then he goes into the Matrix and it's like, oh, wait, no, it's actually post-apocalyptic. And he's been in a simulation this whole time, but it's so advanced, he can't tell the difference.
Did I show that fucking movie to Danielle, by the way? What's real? Whoa, she just fucking this
don't
weird
even.
cosmic fucking super cloud of just like
I'm
crazy.
still mad about that whole time isn't real shit.
I'm mad about the cereal thing. Just talking shit. Like, if you eat cereal, you're not a man. Really?
Yeah,
really?
that made
I
me
love
mad
me some
too.
honeycomb, bitch. God damn it. What the fuck?
Don't admit that. Just say you like cereal.
No, I love honeycomb is delicious. What are you talking
No,
about?
it's not.
It's awesome.
Pass the chat. You got 100 people fucking watching.
Yeah, no,
Alex,
You love
hate
doing that.
anything and everything that's fun.
yeah, I know, right? Like, as long as it has like a smiley.
Honey Nut
little-
Cheerios isn't fun. If you said Frosted Cheerios, that'd be dope.
Did you
is
just
that
say honey nut churros?
No, it's
Churros.
churros.
I could have sworn you said honey nut churros.
Oh, Lord.
Probably.
Thank you, Ruthless. Yes, honeycomb is delicious.
Yo, I'm gonna go shopping at Lowe's real quick.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, fuck you. You have no right to fucking speak.
I have all the
Man,
rights.
No, but you have no right to spell.
Goddamn American, yes.
You have
Y'all
no.
some
God, this
horrible
is,
spellers.
shut the hell up.
But guys,
At least I know how to spell.
At least I can survive the cold.
At
You
least
can't
I'm
survive the
taller.
heat.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah,
Hey, Alan,
you lost
my
that one.
feet can touch the ground when I sit
Yeah, but
down.
my feet don't freeze off when I go outside.
At least I'm still alive, Alan.
Ryan Walters in
Am
the
I
chat saying,
dead?
Honey Nut Chalupa.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Oh, fuck you, Ryan. You're so cool. Fuck you.
There is a churro cereal. Thank you, Angela. She always has my back.
Oh, how about spelling bee horror? But I like how
What?
he put B because he's continuing the puns, and I love.
How
these
about a
puns very
spelling
much.
bee horror?
Absolutely.
Alan, be nice.
Spelling is
What?
horror to Alan. But anyways, no. Really quick though, I did want to get Ganja's opinion on that, and then obviously I want Roxy to answer her own thing too, because I love that question about old movies that you like to see modernized for the current audience. Ganja, you got to have one.
All right, so my thing is, I would like to see some zombie movies be remade. I know everyone hates zombies. I'm a huge zombie fan. You can suck my dick, all right? Everyone
Yeah.
here likes
I do
fucking
already.
superheroes. Thank you, baby. But when it comes to everybody here who like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next Marvel movie, the new Batman. How many Batmans have we seen in just our generation alone? Suck my dick. But when it comes to this shit, I really do want to see a serious take on Dawn of the Dead again, where it builds the creepy vibe throughout the film and just gives you the sense of isolation as people start to die. And I want more budget, not even more budget, just more like world building. And my biggest thing is I have yet to get a zombie movie where it feels like it tries to cover all its bases. World War Z was the closest, but even then it was nowhere near the book. So
Yeah.
honestly, I really want to see Dawn of the Dead redone with our modern time to see how it's done.
But which one do you want remade? The 2004 one or the 1978?
Old school one from George A. Romero. Rest in peace.
Really?
I
Okay.
fuck-
That one's so great. But what were you gonna say, Alan?
Oh, I fucking hate World. Like, you remember World War Z? Fuck that movie so
That
much.
ending, though.
That ending,
It's
honestly,
ridiculous.
when that ending happened, I'm in the theater and I just sat back and started laughing as loud as possible. So that was the stupidest ending I've ever seen.
And
in
then
a
someone
fucking
told
movie.
you, hey, shut the fuck up.
And I'd be like,
fucking movie up
no.
here.
Nobody, because it was stupid. So for people that don't know the ending of World War Z, it's unbelievably fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So they're halfway through the movie, you see like the zombies are like running around, but they're not affecting certain people. So this dumbass scientist was like, well, viruses only attack the strongest hosts and whatever the fuck. That's not real, by the way. So you know what it is? Certain people that are dying already, they won't get infected. And then trips and falls and shoots himself in the face.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh my god, that was so fucking stupid. So they basically established this thing where these zombies won't infect somebody that is dying of a disease. Don't ask me why. It makes no sense. So Brad Pitt is like at the CDC or some shit, and he has to get like a cure or something. And in order for him to survive the fucking zombies, he injects himself with some like virus or some stupid shit that's like some deadly ass shit, and the zombies just wander around him. And I am laughing. I'm like, this motherfucker just injected himself with Ebola to not get killed by a zombie. Have fun for the next week, you stupid motherfucker.
Well, I mean, that's ultimate sacrifice.
No,
though.
that's not.
That's ultimate sacrifice. No, because like that, I get that. Because he's gonna die anyways. He's like, you know what? I'll die peacefully.
But he doesn't die.
Well, yeah, but like you gotta put your mind like within the character. Like you're trying to help your fucking friends, right? You're gonna die anyways because you're all gonna get eaten alive. So might as well just stab yourself with some Ebola, walk around, fucking I don't know, do whatever he has to do to get them out of there. Boom. That actually makes sense. You actually just sold me on this stupid ass ending.
It's fucking stupid.
Because you asked a question that actually can easily be answered.
What do you answer a question that can be easily answered? He injects himself with deadly diseases and then just walks through and the zombies don't affect him. First of all, the idea that that's how the zombies work in this universe is unbelievably fucking stupid. Second of all, you can't just inject yourself and then instantly start dying. That's not how anything fucking works.
Alan,
so if anything, they would have killed him anyway.
Each other to bring down helicopters, for fuck's sake.
3, by the way, we don't know what the fuck he doesn't know what the fuck he invented. He just grabbed a random vial and doesn't die at the end of the movie. We already know these are deadly, and they even say uncurable. So it's not like he dies and sacrifices himself. He lives at the end of the fucking movie. So you just did nothing.
Nice boat.
I don't know, man. Look, I agree with you. This movie's fucking terrible, but good God.
Oh, my God.
But here's the thing. I love what this guy's saying here. They're talking about a new werewolf movie that's not corny. I gotta tell you, the trailer worked on me big time. Do you guys remember seeing the sequel to American Werewolf in London called American Werewolf in Paris?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you liked this back in the day, but when this first came out, I loved this fucking movie, and it scared the absolute shit out of me. Scory as fuck. The CGI was terrible, which is also scary in itself.
I thought it was the same movie this whole time. I thought people were just getting mixed up with
with the places.
the places and shit.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, seriously, that movie's terrible. I can see it.
Nick is one of the people that if there's a sequel to a horror movie that everyone hates, he likes it.
No, that's not the case. Fuck
you are the only person on Earth that likes Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
Oh, that movie's great.
That movie is fucking terrible.
Oh, fuck you.
I agree with you, Alan. This dude fucking has horrible taste in sequels.
You motherfuckers.
Alan.
What's up?
You remind me of a werewolf.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm Arab?
As much hair as you
No, it's because you're hairy as fuck.
Yeah, because I'm Arab.
Like when we went to the beach, your chest didn't even look like a chest. It just looked like a fucking rug.
And he always pops his chest out like he's about to do some Captain Planet shit. Just like, dun 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 dun.
You say Captain Planet. I'm thinking more like, feel my Care Bear stare.
Okay, well,
as far as werewolves, like, I grew up a while ago just not liking vampires, werewolves, or zombies just because I always felt like the rules that they wanted to establish, I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, werewolves, like, they either can turn into werewolves whenever the fuck they want, turn into regular wolves, or can only do it at a full moon. That only happens once a month. What does happen to the other 29 fucking days? You just chilling? Like, everybody's like, well, I can't wait for the moon to rise.
Barry, Barry, he's saying, have y'all ever played the game of World War Z? Yeah, I have
terrible.
not. But when it looks, games like this and Left 4 Dead and what's that one that just came out, Days Gone? These games look so similar, man. Like I don't give a fuck, man. Like
I was interested because I'm like, well, it's based on a good book, so maybe they'll incorporate that. It's just a horde mode shooter. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm out.
Yeah, man. And speaking of video games, I do want to touch on another zombie property right here, man. Have you guys seen the gameplay that came out today for Resident Evil 3?
No, I didn't. Actually.
Nope. No, I'm too busy thinking about cereal.
By the way, Batboy, man, I'm sorry, dude. I almost want to ban you. Who mixes cereal?
Oh, well, dude,
that's
you
can. It depends on the cereal.
No, that's some like crack addict shit, man.
See, I disagree.
No, but
with
he did say earlier.
What is your hate over crackheads? What did they do to you?
Yeah, I know, right? They're doing their own shit.
What?
But yeah, what you're saying though?
No, I will say earlier he said something about Frosted Flakes, and I gotta say that cereal is absolutely fucking disgusting.
Oh hell no, Bad Boy, I'm on your side. Frosted Flakes is the shit, and Lucky Charms is the shit too. Thank you.
Lucky
guys in
Charms
chat.
is
I can't eat
good.
Lucky
I'm pretty sure.
Charms
Yeah, I'm pretty
is
sure.
good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was joking, saying Frosted Flakes
Yeah, I
tasted
can't
like
eat
wet
anymore either,
cardboard.
babe. That shit makes my
Like
shit
I
green.
can eat a little bit of it and my stomach can handle it, but then afterwards I just shit green for like the next 3 days or
I'll be
for
right back.
however
Corey's calling.
long
You guys
I've been
continue
eating
talking.
that cereal.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's a whack ass cereal, dude. And I don't like Apple Jacks either.
I can't eat Frosted Flakes. That shit's way too nasty. That shit tastes like cardboard.
See,
I mean, it's slightly better. If you compare Frosted Flakes to Corn Flakes, Frosted Flakes is
I like
slightly
honey
better.
nuts. I like honey nuts once in a while.
Nah. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is number 1. Number 2 is Captain Crunch.
What
I
about
like
French
Special
Toast
K and
Crunch?
Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yeah, but
Mini wheats. The taste is great.
So I don't know if you guys already touched on this and everything, but I will say, Bad Boy, like I disagree with him as far as mixing the cereals and everything. You gotta segregate that. Anyways, the thing is though,
Equal cereal.
it's like that white girl in fucking Get Out. It's like no milk and Fruit Loops. I don't know.
Oh yeah, apparently everybody on Earth is thinking that person is crazy for having the milk first.
Yeah, or racist. But here's the thing though,
That too.
I will say that at the buffet that we went to the Wicked Spoon in Las Vegas, which was it looked nice and that's it. But the thing is though, about that place, they actually, I think they want you to mix the cereals because they have all the cereal out there in like these jars, and it's like, yeah, just go ahead and grab and put them in the fucking thing or whatever. So it's like he's not the only one that thinks that. I think.
Oh no, anyone that thinks that is crazy. But honestly, when it comes to a buffet, that kind of stuff, sometimes like I'll eat just cereal just straight dry. Just put it in a bowl, eat it like a snack. I know a lot of
But you
people do that.
also eat dry ramen.
Yeah.
Well,
He
they
likes
didn't
to
have
sit
any
dry.
ramen there. I would have fucking eaten it.
Yeah, they
anyhow.
did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
Oh, I
dry
didn't see
though. You like
M.
the shit dry.
Hundama, I love you so much because I forgot to be doing this, torturing him.
Oh,
Keen
God.
Vitamin! Have breakfast with the Keen Vitamin!
That is made me so mad because he just did that for like 2 weeks prior. Then the Game of Thrones ending happened, and fucking Gertz or somebody photoshopped Bran Stark as a King Vitamin dude, and just fucking infuriated me to no end.
Yeah, man. By the way, everyone, Double Toes is going to be starting right now, so we'll end off in about 10 minutes. I just want to kind of talk about this Resident Evil thing really quick because,
Yeah.
man, looking at this.
What do you think?
I think that this game might suck.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, what do you think? And we'll all go from there.
Here's my situation, man. Nemesis, when he gets shot, and this is not how it was back in the Resident Evil 3 original PS1 game. I mean, granted, like, you didn't react too much to your shooting and whatnot, and there was blood particles coming out, but on here, I guess they're going to put the same bodysuit on him that they did on Mr. X, where he doesn't react to your fucking shooting, which is kind of annoying because I would like to do damage to some of the fucking characters that are trying to kill me in the game. More so that's annoying than this is, you know how it's annoying when a character doesn't die and just follows you throughout the entire game while trying to do these stupid puzzles and shit? Well, it's worse here because Nemesis has a fucking scorpion spear that grabs your leg and pulls you to him every time you walk away. Yeah, annoying as fuck.
No, that could be. I mean, they did something not exactly the same, but they did that in levels of Dead Space 1, and it was effective.
Well, they did the same thing in PS1 at the very end of the game when Nemesis gets like fucked up, and I don't know if they do that here. Maybe the gameplay that we saw on IGN was from the end of the game, but I would hate to be in a situation where on top of I can't shoot people, also too they have a dodge system which is actually really really cool, but it's very much like Resident Evil 6, and everyone who was bitching about Resident Evil 6, well now you guys got something from there that you might have to admit it's not so bad now, and not talk shit about that game so fucking much. But because of that dodge system, they got rid of the melee weapons and defense weapons, so no more knife, no more
Good. I'll take a fucking dodge system versus a fucking blocking system any day of the fucking week.
But what's up with them and the knives? Because the last game you have knife ammo,
Well, they probably want a situation where it's like I'm saying it's gonna be way more linear than it's gonna be because the fucking RE2 is just like chilling this weird ass museum/police station as you try to find USBs and police badges and random keys on a keyboard. It's fucking ridiculous. This to me seems like it's gonna be more corridors, it's gonna be more escaping, and it's gonna be more just trying to get from one safe haven to the next. It's not gonna be as action packed as probably what you're used to, but it's probably gonna be more action packed.
Yeah, and I feel like, you're right about that. It will be more action-packed, which is only a good thing, because it is a video game at the end of the day. I'm not watching this. I'm not playing this game so I can watch myself get scared. I can do that shit on YouTube. There's many great YouTubers out there that have really good capturing devices. I can just get the same experience watching them. So I want something that's fun to play. And I gotta tell you, I don't know if this is gonna be fun to play. It might be scary as fuck, and Nemesis is threatening as can be. But, yeah, dude, I have a really big issue with that, where... I mean, I gotta tell you, Have you ever had the situation where there's a game that you're so hyped for, and then it's starting to come out, and all the news is coming out about it, and you're just getting less and less interested?
Yeah, literally literally the entirety of 2019 summed up in one fucking like statement.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that happened with Days Gone. Actually, I didn't get that day one because it looks so bad. Every single time they showed gameplay, it became less and less interesting. Then when I finally got it, I'm like, oh god, this is a piece of shit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm feeling here, man. I mean, Ganja, I know you haven't seen the gameplay from today, but just the other stuff that I brought up on Resident Evil stuff. What are you feeling about this? Do you think I'm just full of shit, man? Because I know you liked RE2.
I'm still gonna check it out because I'm a fan of these remakes when they actually try to give a shit and actually upgrade the different type of mechanics and actually add stuff to it. But I do see what your promise with it, especially being more of an action series. But I'm still gonna check it out. I'm a fan of the old series. I want to play some good old zombie games. But besides that, no, I'm not really that into it.
Yeah, and I like the maps. I think it looks cool. The game looks beautiful, but it's like, dude, what game doesn't look beautiful? I think we're at a certain point now where we gotta stop like giving games points for just looking nice, because just like with movies, cinematography should always be good, right? Like, I mean, you can still give points for something that looks extra pretty, of course, yeah. But I think that when it comes to graphic capabilities or movies looking nice, that should always be done. And if you don't do that, then you automatically get like at least a fucking C. Because
I disagree with that, because I think that visually speaking, you should always try to do something different, not necessarily be the best. Like, I'm looking at this right now, and I'm like, I could easily run this on my last rig, but it's doing stuff with background lighting and differential lighting and mood lighting, where it's like, it's looking good without having to like, oh, we're not gonna be a graphic powerhouse like a lot of games, but we're gonna do realistic lighting and shading and stuff like that to actually make things feel more real. Like Resident Evil 2 is probably the best looking game of the generation because of what it was. It's not the most graphically intense, because I think something like some more recent games came out that are more graphically intense, but it's what it's doing with the differential lighting is what may be making it stand out more. That's what we're able to do with video games now, is we're able to make them look more realistic without having to pump up the resolution.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. So, I mean, look, we'll see what happens, but I think I've said this about 1,000 times now about like, yeah, this game looks like shit, looks like shit, looks like shit. I'm going to stop talking about it. I know there's going to be more gameplay videos coming out. Actually, there's going to be a 30-minute demo coming out in about a week or two. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll play it on the fucking stream or whatever, and yeah, I'll probably eat my words, and I'll be happy if I have to eat my words.
I don't know. I think I gotta agree with you. I was looking at the gameplay while we were talking. I'm like, this looks like everything I hate. Like, it looks a little bit better than RE2, because my problem with RE2 was whoever designed the puzzles in that game was a fucking like historian, and yeah, I've said this word 18 times, a fucking crack addict. I don't know the internal logic.
Crackheads.
I don't know the internal logic of some of the bullshit for those puzzles until like I just had to ask one of y'all and look it up. But seeing with this, it's like it seems like it's more linear, more action focused. But one of my biggest issues with RE2 is the enemies just felt like obstacles. Where it's like, oh, good thing I have 100 shots, I might kill one of them. So I got to the point where I'm just shooting people in the leg because it was less likely to chase me further. And I'm seeing the same kind of stuff there where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to get this one.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing too. Like, and I was about to pre-order it like 2 days ago, and I'm like, every time I see something, it really, really doesn't look great, and it's like it's crazy to think that, man.
Oh, y'all hoes.
Solid is saying Skyrim sucks. I actually love Skyrim. I think it was a great game, but I'm so sick to death of even the name of that fucking game. Like, my God. Same thing with RE4. I love RE4. One of the best games I've ever played in my life.
I can't wait for the remake.
Dude, honestly, that'll piss me off. It's like, dude, stop.
Yeah, I'll buy it day one. Fuck you.
It's gonna be at least 8 years before it comes out.
They're never gonna. I think they're gonna stop it. I think they're gonna go like RE Origins. They're gonna do all the other random ones.
Veronica X, right?
Sure. But I actually Veronica X seems like something they would actually go, or whatever the fuck it was called. But I don't see them going to RE4. I think they're gonna have to stop at some point. But like the thing about the remakes, that they can fix some of the problems. Like if you want to remake something, remake RE5 and make that game less garbage.
Yeah, no, I agree. And by the way, what Bad Boy said, I'm going to give you a chance to kind of give your opinion on this. He said that Breath of the Wild has been one of the best examples of a full open world game he's ever played. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think The Witcher does it way better because it has a way better story associated with the open world. I'm the biggest Legend of Zelda fan, and I just said another game did better than Legend of Zelda.
Slurp that shit.
Why don't you go? Wait, you talk about fucking eating dick. Why don't you fucking eat one and shut the goddamn fuck up?
Never.
I actually thought you were giving him a legitimate.
Crap is his business.
No, I actually thought Alan was giving a legit recommendation. Like, well, you know what? Since you like dicks so much, I will refer to you to dicks.com.
Come on.
Where you can also put one in your fucking mouth. It's like, whoa.
But the thing about Breath of the Wild, it has a really good open world. But a lot of what's going on is like, yeah, as you're going towards your main objective, there's a lot of stuff that fills up the open world because they built it from the ground up to be open world. Where it's like, yeah, they built it like an NES game where every quadrant they want to put something in there, either something to look at, an enemy to fight, a puzzle to solve. So it made it feel very full. So as you're going towards your objective, which is like 1,000 blocks away, there's 1,000 different things to do along the way. With Witcher is you had so many different versions of you have your main 3 quests where you go to these 3 areas. Then inside there, you had side quests that helped you develop the world and characters. Then you had the money-making quest, which is like small little adventures of find my son, find my sword, kill this monster. And that filled the open world a lot, especially with little objective points at monster dens or raider outposts. And you got to do a lot of cool stuff with a great combat system. That's why I think Witcher is probably the best open world game of the decade.
Yeah, no, so I'm glad you guys agree with that shit. But, yo, man, I'm going to get the fuck out of here, though. I know we've been on here for a long, long time, but why don't you and Ganja kind of segregate whatever you guys are going to be discussing for the Metropolis Collective?
Let me get the Joe Biden laugh. Ha, 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 segregation.
I don't understand that.
For all the people that watch our show or fucking watch the debate, they know what I'm referencing.
Okay.
That they do.
But no, actually, Ganja, why don't you tell people about your own particular show and about the Illuminati?
Well, guys, you'll check out the Metropolis Collective on Facebook, as well as on YouTube, Patreon, as well as a bunch of other websites now. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and a bunch of other platforms now. So anywhere you can find us, check it out and subscribe to the Illuminati Podcast, where me, Alan, the great Rufus Smarter, talk about politics, give our opinions on different political events and cultural events that are going on around the world, and pretty much get your news update from a communist radical stoner and a dude that wants to fucking test on people.
Hi.
And someone who cosplays as Emperor. So it's pretty fucking cool. We do a lot of fun shit, as well as, talk some serious politics. So check us out.
And Alan, why don't you tell people where to find us on Saturdays and what we do after the show, man?
Well, if you are checking out the Metropolis, we're going to start putting embedded links towards the chat attack, but usually it's tagged in one of the posts. So for the people that are already watching this on Facebook, or I'm not even sure which day on Facebook anymore. Anyway, just go to Facebook, right in the chat attack. There's embedded links to all sorts of places where we're doing everything. And yeah, Saturday we're going to be coming right back in full steam of probably doing a few reviews, talk about all sorts of crazy shit that's been happening throughout the whole week. So be sure to check that out.
Yes, and then what you guys can do is you can go to Roxy and Jet's area if you want poop in toilets, which is actually Twix, and pineapple for urine, just to get that joke out there. Also, cockroaches, lots of cockroaches.
And pickles.
And pickles, because it's so delicious.
And kiwis.
Mm-hmm. Delicious. Anyways, with that said, we're getting the fuck out of here. Ganja Guru, if you want to. You can go ahead and say attack the chat if you want. In 3 and 2. Thank y'all for watching. Go enjoy Double Toasted. Right now.
And fart.
Basic 4 is going to suck.
I've been holding in a fart for like 30 minutes.
Mute your mic.
Why are you always
They're not a fart. I've been real gassy since we got
every
there.
single time with the fart?
What's the mute your mic?
No.
Why not?
You're gonna hear me rip ass.
Why?
Because Jesus said so.